uh, don't just judge this man by one franchise. You
Yeah.
actually look at the body of work of what he's
I'm
done.
I'm a fan of. I get that fans are really proprietary about certain characters,
Mhm.
but every single time, I mean, every single time this happens, those same fans usually end up eating their words, especially with Batman.
Heath Ledger.
My thing is, I understand that you feel really protective of this character, but there's a whole process. It's not like they just saw 10 actors and went, that guy. It's not like this took a couple of weeks to cast. Like, casting
Exactly.
takes months and months and months, and they see dozens, if not hundreds, of actors for this role or
Mhm.
for these roles. So, trust that the casting director has done something right or saw something in him. Well, now it's rumored that it's not a done deal. It's between Pattinson and Nicholas Hoult, and I love both of them as actors, but I prefer Pattinson in this role.
Mhm.
Um, but trust that the casting director had a reason for casting this specific actor in this specific role with this specific director, and that the director also had a hand in it and a say in who got cast. So I love Robert Pattinson. I think anybody that's still dismissing him as that Twilight guy is showing their entire ass of not knowing anything about his, like, oh, cool. Well, guess what? The last Twilight was 7 years ago. So he's done a lot more since then.
And I think that's exactly what like people on that mainstream mindset is thinking. Like this guy hasn't done anything since
Mm-hmm.
Twilight. Like
Yeah.
you really didn't even just bother to go to his IMDb page or anything, really. And you're right, you're just sewing their asses on that one.
Yeah, like I'm not expecting to have seen Good Time or The Rover or Lost City of Z or
Mm-hmm.
High Life or anything. I'm not saying they had to have seen his work, but understand that he didn't just disappear for 7 years. Like he's been working, and so there's probably a whole filmography that you haven't seen.
Right,
At
like
least
independent
acknowledge
films, right?
that. Yeah, or at least just acknowledge that there's a reason why he was cast. So I don't
Exactly.
know. I'm also just really over fans and fanboys just getting mad about things before they've even seen like a second of anything.
It's like the moment a story just drops, or if it's supposed to be like a feel good moment, it's like some troll just gets activated somewhere. Oh, it's a good news story out there. It's time to destroy. Like
Yeah.
it's just weird
Yeah,
nowadays.
and there are some fans that are just they're never going to be happy. Like they're just
Yeah.
there's a core group of fanboys that will never be happy with any casting ever. Like for superheroes, it just is what it is. So you kind of just ignore them. But at least with this, I'm kind of like, you know what, guys, like I'm not here for your Twilight takes because that was 7 years ago. So are
There's
you
been
real
there's
quick?
been more in life than just Twilight. This
Yeah,
I,
exactly.
I gotta admit I wasn't one of the fans of Twilight, even though I saw them all.
Hmm.
I it was a series that just like the Harry Potter thing. I felt like it wasn't for me at
Yeah.
the beginning, and then the third one or the fourth. I don't know which one it was with Harry Potter or with I think it was the third one with Harry Potter, but with Twilight, it was like, okay, this is starting to this is revving up, and I remember by the end, I was a fan of it.
Yeah.
I liked it, and when I started hearing that he was acting in and in these other like you said, I have not seen any
Hmm.
of the other films. I've seen him work in. I can't remember what other movie. I know I've seen him in another film after Twilight. I just can't remember. I couldn't tell you which one it is, to be honest.
Hmm.
But I remember hearing from critics that I respect and I follow, not even the ones that I don't agree with all the time, saying the same thing. This man is can act, and do not take him as a joke. Like, and
Yeah.
I started hearing nothing but positive things about it. So when his name came up for a possibility of Batman, even though I haven't seen like the movies that you just listed,
Hmm.
I remembered in the back of my head that like just like you said, there's a reason why the
Yeah.
director and casting looked at
Yeah.
him and taking him seriously. It's because he's proven that he's not a joke, or that he's not just some
Yeah.
um, Twilight or whatever, if that's even an insult. I mean, he even did a good job in that.
I think it's a real testament to an actor too, if they can get you to still love their performance in a movie you didn't like. Like I just a couple weeks ago, or maybe like a month or two ago, I screened High Life. But Claire Denis, she's a fantastic director, but she's not for me. She's very, very French. And it's a very French movie, and that's not my bag. And so I watched the movie, and there were things I could appreciate in it, but overall, I was like, I really think I hated this movie. Yeah, I hated this movie, but I loved him. Like he was in the movie. I just didn't like what was happening around him, but it was fantastic. Like he was
was it the directing, or was it just the story of it, the whole
story? It's really hard to explain. All I can explain it was just saying it's very, very French. It's very slow burn, which I'm fine with slow burns, but this got real. It's weird. I'm fine with slow burns. I'm fine with surreal. I'm fine with, it was just it just wasn't for me.
But from all that, you could still say this performance from this person or that person was phenomenal. I mean, and that you're right. It's a testament of his skill. If in a movie that you were like, oh, I'm not feeling, and you can still say, but that performance.
Yeah.
That's just true. And I'm sure that's one of the reasons why he was picked. So I'm excited to see it. I'm going to give it a chance. And